Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we're discussing The Boys, season 3, episode 7, and we got a straight soap opera going on. Almost Return of the Empire Strikes Back. I was going to say Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Who is your father? Apparently. So now we have that Homelander is the son of Soldier Boy. Who jacked off in the cup in 1981 or something like that, and was like, oh my God, now I have a child. And finding out this news, as Soldier Boy finds out about it, he beats Mindstorm to death with his shield. All right, let's see how that works. Then he calls Homelander and is like, hey, son, how's it going? Homelander must have mixed emotions, right? Because he's running around scared of Soldier Boy, and now that's his daddy, right? So is Homelander going to try to use his daddy to find his son Ryan, I think, and they're gonna have a 3-generation superhero meeting? Is that how next episode is gonna end? That would be awkward for everyone involved. But yeah, and with said, parenting origin story for Homelander, we get Black Noir's very, very, very tragic story given to us in cartoon form, Disney level cartoon form, which is standard for The Boys, but I think strange for any other show. It was wild to see Black Noir sit there and watch his magical friends tell the story and how he was systematically abused by Soldier Boy, to the point that he had to lead the efforts to have Soldier Boy sold to the Russians because they were going to make a new one after he beat off in the cup. I did like the thing about Black Noir wanting to go out for Beverly Hills Cop. Like, that was actually hilarious because I was like, what? Because again, I guess at that point he talked, and therefore he wasn't beat to the point that he's unrecognizable and can't speak anymore. But that being said, I'm really getting tired of how Black people are used as stereotypical characters in every single fucking one of them. Black Noir in the comic book, as I'm understanding, is supposed to be a copy of Homelander. But in this thing, they basically turned him into some kind of Black Panther relevant, and therefore he's being sister. Hey, great show. It is a great show, but I'm seriously, I'm irritated that he became the Black man who's being abused by the white man who's the symbol of white America. Soldier Boy is Captain America, so he is the symbol of America, and he was beating this Black man for a very long time, to the point that he beat the man's brains out, apparently literally, because the brains popped out of his head, and then he set his face on fire. That is a stereotype. Then he's replaced by his son Homelander, who's also the symbol of America, who abuses A-Train at every possible moment. So now A-Train is another stereotypical example of a Black man be abused by America or some shit, who grew up in the projects with no father, stereotype. And I'm like, God damn, this really upsets me. So in this episode, we find out that A-Train, after killing Black Hawk, because of Black Lives Matter or whatever the fuck, he's given Black Blue Hawk's heart. He's alive by the heart of a racist. This storyline was actually done in a very old show called Highway to Heaven. If you're my age and you grew up in the 80s, a show called Highway to Heaven. There was an episode where Jonathan, the angel, ran into a Jewish man who was being abused and yelled at by a Nazi. And then the Nazi was killed in a grocery store or some shit. And then the Jewish man had a heart attack. And then they put the Nazi's heart in the Jewish man. And then the Jewish man lost it. Like when he found out that he had the heart of the man that has been abusing him for months and stuff, he had a heart attack, just like A-Train. I'm like, did these people watch Highway to Heaven when they were growing up, or just a big coincidence? But then now fucking Ashley wants to make some type of bullshit Black exploitation film about again, how A-Train grew up in the projects as a drug dealer. And I'm like, I'm tired I am tired. I mean, I'm assuming these writers think that they're trying to, uplift the Black experience or some shit. And it just gets on my fucking nerves, to be honest. Like kill this Michael Landon. Thanks. I could not think of that actor's name. Michael Landon, great actor. It was a great show. And now I think Jill Scott is doing her version of it or something. I digress. My point is get on my damn nerves is my point. Then you got Mother's Milk, who's put into a angry Black man situation where he knocks out the stepfather boyfriend, wherever the fuck he is, who took his daughter to a Trump type rally. Obviously, I now see it. I saw an article that said Homelander is basically turning into Trump, and this episode really brought that out. Like they're really trying to be like he's the Trump of superheroes or whatever the fuck. And then so Mother's Milk Marvin punches out this dude coincidentally in front of his daughter, and now she's like, "Oh, Daddy, you're an angry Black man, and I can't be around you," with some bullshit. I'm like, oh God, it irritates me. It irritates the fuck out of me. Okay, but anyway, that being said, Huey and Butcher are murdering themselves with Compound V, apparently, which now they're going to get to sell to the military and to the cops to fight superheroes. All right. I knew that Compound V was going to fuck them up. I knew that. So it was interesting that it was useless, really, Starlight, who used her powers very weakly. All she does is really light up her eyes for the most part. Remember in season 1 where she could blind people, at least, like she could shock people and blind people? She hasn't blind anyone. Like she could blind Nadia, for example, and without her eyes, Nadia is completely useless. Like, it's easy for Starlight to take out Nadia. Anyway, so she goes through the thing. Once again, who is watching this Compound B lab? Fucking anyone can steal it. Maeve can steal it. Fucking Starlight can steal it. Apparently, you got the regular Compound B. Then you got the Compound B lights. Like it's just all over the place. And Homelander hasn't put anyone in charge of this lab. This doesn't make sense, But anywho, as she's leaving, Homelander, who does not just murder her immediately, gives her the same, I'm going to kill everybody in your life speech. And then she, I guess, uses her phone to like broadcast his threats. This is the second time that she's used social media to expose Homelander for the murderer that he is. And he hasn't gone crazy and killed everyone like he said he was going to. When she was like, I'm going to leak that video on you on the plane. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going to destroy America. And if no one loves me, they'll just hate me. So what you going to do then? And then somehow he still hasn't done that. Like he's still playing the PR game. So I'm like, I don't know if this is showing us that Starlight called his bluff in this whole thing, that he'll just go nuclear if everyone knows that he's a madman. I don't know. Speaking of Nadia, real quick, have you noticed that you have not seen her daughter since she gave her that Compound B shot? Like, I'm thinking next episode, as the season finale, we're gonna see her daughter, and maybe she turned into a monster, like a literal like creature or some shit, and they're saving that for the end. But I'm like, where is her daughter? Also, Homelander put her in her place, which I thought was hilarious because she was talking all kinds of shit when he was jacking off that cow, and wanted to take some milk to the head because he was feeling kind of vulnerable. And he choked the shit out of her and was like, last time I checked, I'm Homelander, right? So what you're not going to do is talk shit to me. And that's important. So that's an important life lesson, that sometimes you need to realize that sometimes you're talking to people who are stronger than you, whether that be physically stronger, economically stronger, like just they're in charge of you. And sometimes you got to know where to keep that limit of, if I go this far, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. So I need to stay right about here. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Rock made a joke about that, actually. He's like, men know how far they can go with other men who can whoop their asses, and therefore they keep their mouth to a certain level. Like Nadia needs to learn that she's not too big to be choked out. So I understand why Homelander did that. You know what I'm saying? Also, he's feeling vulnerable and that he had to reassert his strength, because he's scared of everybody. So Maeve. So somehow he figured out that Maeve is the reason why Huey and therefore Butcher have the Compound V. I'm not sure how he put those two together, to be honest, because if he knew that she was stealing the compound V, then he should have stopped her from stealing it. But now he wants to harvest Maeve's eggs. He's not a scientist. Like, what scientist have you even seen recently that he hasn't murdered that they're going to use these eggs to put together with his semen to make a baby? Like, why did he harvest Stormfront's eggs? In fact, why did he not get Stormfront pregnant? I mean, they were fucking in the air, right? So shouldn't she have been pregnant? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking that it would have been smarter if you would have found out that he kept Stormfront alive so he could, make babies with her, which she wanted to do anyway. So this makes it even more stupid because he was like, why am I trying to have children with you, you crazy Nazi who wants to create the super race? Now he wants to harvest Maeve's eggs so he can create a super race. Doesn't make sense. Like, he could have did that with Stormfront. And what happened to the Storm Tracers? Like, why are they not at his rallies, like pumping him up? Like, what happened to that? Like, they mentioned that in episode 1, episode 2, and they haven't really done anything with that. Like, he looked at them like they were crazy, but it seems like those are the type of people that he would want on his side. So I don't get it, when it comes to that. So Mindstorm. So Mindstorm did a really interesting thing of making Butcher look into himself and see that he's haunted from the fact that he left his brother with an abuse. He turned to an abusive man because of his father, and then left his brother with an abusive father, which caused his brother to kill himself. And that guilt is eating at him. But it doesn't change anything, because knowing that fucking Starlight just told him that, hey, this V can kill you if you take too many shots. And she only told Butcher, the man that she knows would do anything to accomplish the mission and really don't give a fuck about his people. She's trusting Butcher to tell Huey what. But anyway, Butcher finds out that he's probably dying, that Huey's probably dying, and he's like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still got a mission to finish, so we're gonna finish it. Okay. And that sounds like Butcher. Like, that is consistent with his character. So I get that. I mean, it's suicidal, it's homicidal. Hey, spill the tea. How are you? Michael David? Who's Michael David? You mean Michael Landon? Clarify, please. So Kamiko's storyline of I need my powers back goes back to Superman 2, Spider-Man 2, and recently Stranger Things. 11 went through the same thing. In fact, when we do our Stranger Things review, I will also identify the boyfriend who can't take the fact that his girlfriend is stronger than him and therefore feels like, how can we be together? She doesn't need me. Huey and William. No, it's not William. What's that, Michael? Is it Michael? Anyway, 11's boyfriend. They both said the exact same thing. How am I with a woman who's stronger than me? Both said the same thing. Starlight is dealing with that shit with Huey. 11 is dealing with that shit with her boyfriend. We're doing P-Valley at 1:00. I'm doing The Boys by myself. Then Kim and I are going to do The Shy, and then we're going to do P-Valley. That's how today's going to go. All right. Anyway, but Kimiko, I knew that was going to happen, right? When she saw Frenchie getting almost murdered, and she almost murdered, I knew she was going to be just like 11 and be like, I got to get my powers back to save my family, right? So that was going to happen. And it makes sense. Frenchie, I wonder why Frenchie didn't take Compound V, right? If he's like, I want to protect you. Like, he's not like Huey. Huey would have been like, no, Starlight, I'm going to take Compound V so I can protect you and I can be the strong one in this relationship. Frenchie was like, well, all right, baby, that's what you want to do, but you don't have to, because I love you and I'm comfortable enough to know that even though you're stronger than me, I still love you and we can just be together. So I knew they weren't going to lead the team. I knew she was going to get her powers back, but it was an interesting journey to see those two together and trying to be there for each other. And I think that's, that's great. The Deep. The Deep wanting a three-way with his squid lover. Now, I brought that up when Chris and I were discussing this episode last week, and you saw the Deep getting head from the squid at Herogasm. I said, I was like, the squid is sucking off the Deep, and then his wife is fucking him in the butt with a strap on. That's how I thought that was going to go. But they basically tried to do something like that in this episode, right? I'm not sure how he thought the squid was going to satisfy the wife and him. How is the squid living out the water as long as the squid is? So that doesn't make sense. Like, they should have been fucking in the water. Like, that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? So the squid can stay alive. I don't know. Anyway, my point is, it got wild, but that's the boys, right? I'm like, how far are they going to take this bestiality thing? And the Deep is about to learn that he is nothing without his wife. Because his wife is like, oh, you think you got us this far? I got us this far because you are dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But let's see how this goes for you. So I'm sure next episode, the wife is not going to be there. The Deep is going to go to shit, and then it's all going to go bad. And then he's going to come crawling back to his wife, minus the squid. It would be interesting if the wife tells him that if you want me back, you have to kill your squid lover. That would be interesting. And if he does it, I would like to see that. I would like to see that ultimatum, since he had to eat one of his other friends. Homelander made him eat one of his other friends, and his wife was encouraging this. It would be interesting if it comes down to it's either me or your squid lover, and he picks. Who does he pick? Does he pick his wife? Does he pick the squid? I guess we got to find out. We'll see what happens in this scenario. So Soldier Boy finding out that Homelander is his son. How does that change the dynamic? Does Soldier Boy turn on Huey and turn on Butcher? So now they have to fight. So is Black Noir gonna team up with the boys to kill Soldier Boy? Is that what's gonna happen? Frenchie figured out that Vapor can get inside Soldier Boy and have him pass out. So are they gonna bring the team together? And like, again, does Black Noir help out? What is Black Noir's actual power? What is his superpower? Is it he can't fly? He doesn't have beams coming out of his head. Is it super strength? Is it the fact that he can take a beating and keep on coming back? Is he like Deadpool in that sense? I don't understand. And again, I don't understand how he's still alive after the abuse that he took. And what did they do to make him functioning? Because I wanted to go back and watch the episode when you saw him with his mask off, face all torn down. He didn't look like he could talk, that he could even understand what was going on. So what did they do to him to get him back into action, to be who he is now? Like, how did they do that? I really would like to see the scientists that put that together, personally. Yeah. Anyway, Edgar. Where's Edgar? What is Edgar doing? He has to have a plan. He has to have a comeback plan. What is that? I don't know. I did like the video. I did like the opening video of what can. Obviously, they were trying to do a parody of school shootings and how ridiculous it is. It's telling teachers to just hold in place and hope that the shooters don't kill you. They were doing that with superheroes, so I do understand what they were trying to do with that. It's also very timely. It's very timely, unfortunately, because we continue to have school shootings. But anyway, it was a great episode. What else? I want to know what's going on with Edgar. How is Maeve going to get out of her imprisonment? Is she going to die this season? Everybody thinks she's going to die this season. Does she die next episode? And for what? Like, how does that further the story? She is ready to die. I mean, clearly. But what does that mean to the storyline? Is Starlight going to try to get her out and she sacrifices herself to keep Starlight alive? Is that what they're going to do? How is Starlight going to save Huey and Butcher from the side effects of taking all that Compound V? Are we going to see law enforcement taking the Compound V and souping up? And how's that going to work out? Also, why is it everyone's not talking about Soldier Boy being back? Because if you think about it, it's 2022, right? Let's say it's 2020. Let's just say 2020. Everybody has smartphones. right? So if he's walking around with his face completely out, how is it no one's recognizing him and putting the phone up to be like, look, it's Soldier Boy. We thought he was dead. Like, he should be all over social media by now. Like, there's no way they should be able to keep that secret. So that doesn't make sense. And oh, by the way, Soldier Boy just blew up a building because we were recording him, and then his chest popped out and his beat, and he destroyed a building. Like, everyone should know Soldier Boy is alive and that he's running around killing, accidentally or on purpose killing people. It doesn't make any sense. How's he sucking up superheroes' powers? Is he sucking up the power, or is he burning the compound B out of them? And how did he get that power? Did he have that beam in his chest before the Russians took him? Because I didn't see that in the past, in the flashbacks. So did he just develop that power? And did the Russians turn him into a weapon that could take down supes by burning out the compound B in their system? And why doesn't the Russians have their own superhero? That doesn't make sense. Maybe it's in the comics, and I don't know the comics, but I'm just wondering why there isn't a evil Homelander, a Motherlander, maybe. I don't know. Like the Russian version of Homelander, the Russian version of Soldier Boy. I don't understand why we don't see these characters, and maybe that's next season. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Anyway, what do you guys think of the episode? Please let me know. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Vaughn and Spill the Tea, thank you very much for joining. We appreciate that. Anyone who's just watching, we appreciate that. Leave a permanent comment on the video. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video. Check out our community section. We got a lot of things going on there. We got a couple more videos coming for you today, so stay tuned. So again, in about 20 minutes, Kim and I will be together to discuss whatever's going on with the Shy, because that show is completely gone to shit, to be honest. But anyway, we'll talk about that in about 20 minutes.